So today we're going to be looking at the Tusk dry duffel bags that I've got back there on the Tenere 700 Rocky Mountain ATV. MC was nice enough to send these both out to me for some testing. The medium one that's up front there is actually going to be going on the Tenere. We're going to strap that down, take it for a ride, do a couple things, and see how it does. The larger one on the back is a little bit too big for the Tenere 700, but luckily I've got another bike on pre-order that if you're a patron you already know about. Pretty excited to get that bike and do some testing on that. That bag will be going on that bike once I get it, sometime mid-August, hopefully. So these bags are pretty much identical. I think the height is about the same between them. Otherwise, the large bag is longer and also wider that direction. With my rack anyways, it kind of hangs off of the back too much and almost blocks the tail light and signal lights entirely. If you were to have panniers, I think you would probably be okay, as it would kind of just rest on those. For me, however, without panniers and with the high mount exhaust kit, not really gonna work so well. The medium, however, is gonna work really nice. Have it set up just at the edge of my rear rack without covering any of my important lights in the back there. Super nice, large opening that is magnetically sealed. When you want to close it up, you just roll this down, and then you've got the buckles here that you'll connect with the ones off the bottom. You've got this vent that, as you squish this down, lets the air out of. You've got straps to throw over the top of it. There's also a handle that I've got hidden underneath here. I think the general intention for this is to be used as a duffel bag, meaning you throw your clothes or whatever camping gear you need in it, put it on the bike, strap it down, go somewhere, take it off. I don't ever really plan on doing that. I plan on pretty much just leaving it on the bike and just kind of using it as my pack for my day trips up north. The way that they intend you to mount it is they've got these extra straps that you're gonna be fixing somewhere on the bike and then kind of crisscrossing over the top of the pack. For my purposes, that's gonna be way too many straps to get in. So I've kind of figured out a different way to have these straps basically permanently fix it to the bike. I think this is gonna really work pretty well for me, and I'm actually really pretty excited about it. I ended up having to do some things a little bit differently than I did with the old KLR bag. This had these nice pockets on the side that I pretty much always had stuff full. Because this is basically just, like I said, an open duffel bag, there's nowhere to put stuff like that. So instead, what I ended up doing is repurposing an old fishing tackle box. And I actually feel a lot better about having it in here because it's gonna be a lot safer in this nice solid plastic container compared to just the open sides of the old KLR bag that could have easily gotten smashed up. So I've yet to take this thing out on an adventure, but that is the plan right now. I'm gonna get this strapped down and we'll take it out and test it, see how it does. Just looking at it and playing with it, it really seems like a pretty high quality bag. I have not found any issues with it at all yet. I have no doubts that it will indeed be waterproof. So I think that'll really be kind of nice. That was another thing that the KLR trunk really didn't provide. So this is probably the strangest way that you could possibly do this, but what I'm gonna do is take my strap here, loop the end of it through the mounting point on the rack, continue on, looping it through the bottom mounting point on the back of the bag here, and then I'm gonna take the looped end, pass my buckle through it, and then when I pull this tight, what that's gonna do is cinch those 2 points tight together. And that's gonna keep the bag down in place. What I'm gonna do with this strap after that is kind of pick the bag up, pass it through over the top of my rack. And I've got the same thing done on the other side. Clip those together and then pull it tight. Obviously you've got a bit of excess here, the way that I'm doing it. So I'm gonna have to pass these back up, snug it down. And then I can take this end and slide it through the little elastic catch up here. And then for the strap on the front, I'll be doing essentially the same thing. Be strapping this kind of tight down to this mounting point here. I'll kind of loop it around this. It's a little bit goofy, but it works. That will keep this bag down in place. So I'm gonna get this down tight and then I'll show you what we ended up with. All right, there we go, all strapped down and really pretty solid on there. I think actually a lot more solid than the KLR bag ever was on here. I'm pretty excited to have these straps up top to kind of cinch anything that's in there down. With a bag like this, anything that's in here is just going to basically rattle around in there. So having that, I think, will really be nice. Also be able to fit, I think, a lot more in here. This will just be as easy as doing these 4 buckles, which is a little bit easier when you have 2 hands. You can easily get in here at your stuff. Bambi, yikes. Well, that's not exactly what I wanted. All right, so after being in and out of this thing quite a few times today, I got a pretty good idea of how this thing is going to work for me, and I have to say I'm really pleased. There's a little bit of goofing around with getting it all packed back up. You got a little bit more to do than my old bag with just the zipper, but I think the waterproof aspect of it is definitely going to make it worth it. Probably be a little easier without gloves on too. The only issue that I really had with it at all is just that this is a little bit too far forward, that I do kind of bounce my back off of it a little bit when I'm really hunched over and riding hard standing up. But I mean, that's really not that big of a deal. There's nothing hard here that makes it hurt. I think if I had that strapped a little bit tighter, actually, I might not feel it at all. But all in all, this is definitely an awesome dry pack that I'm super excited to use more, and really glad to have on the bike. So if you guys want to check this bag out, or the larger one, check down in the description. There'll be a link for it. If you use that link, it doesn't cost you anything extra, but Rocky Mountain ATV sends me a little bit of the profit, so I appreciate that. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care, stay safe, stay swanky, get out and enjoy this beautiful world. What a nice day. You know, I think there's actually one more test that we need to do with this thing before I can give it the thumbs up for sure. That's probably the most important test, so just hang on. Let's see if we can get this figured out.